Hello, my name is Andrew Alward, and I am the LGBTQ representative for Kitchener Centre's New Democrats. It is a pleasure to be making this video. And currently I'm in Toronto and enjoying a pint of beer at a pub. But I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I was not always friendly towards the LGBTQ community. I grew up a very conservative evangelical Christian. I believed that the Bible said that homosexuality was wrong, completely wrong, and it was understood that homosexuality was the worst sin. By many people understood this, and I understood this, and so I grew up that way. I remember writing letters to the editor of my local newspapers saying that homosexuality was just plain sin, and that people who practiced such were wrong and sinners. But here I stand, or sit, today, and on September the 5th, 2012, and I'm the LGBTQ representative for Kitchener Centre's New Democrats. Let me put it in 3 words. I was wrong. And I can give you all sorts of biblical reasons and biblical arguments as to why the passages in Scripture should not be taken literally, or should not be taken at a time-based sort of value, and should not be taken seriously today. But I will simply say that that my understanding of truth and of love has evolved greatly in my 34 years, and thankfully it has been probably a decade since I have realized that members of the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community are wonderful, wonderful friends and brothers and sisters, and a wonderful community. And there's no doubt in my mind that full equality and full inclusion should be part of laws in our cities, in our towns, in our countries, when it comes to the LGBTQ communities. Now, I want to address something that is happening in the city of Cambridge, Ontario, currently. There has been a minister hired by the city of Cambridge, Ontario, for 15 years, and she has, she's been there for 15 years. Same-sex marriage became law in Canada 12 years ago. Since then, this minister has refused to marry same-sex couples, saying that her church will not allow her to marry same-sex couples. And so the city of Cambridge, to get around this, has went out and hired other ministers in order to marry same-sex couples. And I am here to tell you today that I am very upset about this. I think that it sends the wrong message to our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, that although they are considered equal, they are not the same. That if a same-sex couple comes to City Hall to get married, they're told that basically they have to wait for another minister to come, because the one who's there refuses to marry them. Imagine if an interracial couple, say a white woman or an African American man, were to come to City Hall, and the minister there was to say, I don't feel right about interracial marriage. What an uproar there would be. I suggest that there should be such a uproar over the inequality that we are seeing over same-sex marriages at all. I stand firm with the LGBTQ community. Seems like this is not new. Same-sex marriage has been the law for 12 years here in Canada, and other cities and other provinces have dealt with this issue, and now it's our turn to deal with this issue. And it's not just an issue that we're dealing with. We're dealing with real, live people who simply love each other and want to express that love and by committing to each other. And there are many ministers out there who would be glad to marry, proud to marry same-sex couples. So, in this time, during the next few days, before the next council meeting in Cambridge, there will be a lot of letter writing. There will be calls to City Hall. People will be at City Hall next Monday, which let me just check the date to be sure. Next Monday, September 10th at 7 p.m. to show up at City Hall in favor of inclusiveness. Now, one of the things I realize is that last May 26th, Cambridge City Hall raised the rainbow flag as part of the Tri-Pride celebrations in Waterloo region. And it is only fitting now that after so many years that Cambridge City Council agrees and puts it in place that the full-time minister employed by the city of Cambridge proudly marries same-sex couples. This is not trying to intrude on any religion or any church. In the same breath, religions should not be able to dictate what happens in a civil ceremony. So I am full support of the LGBTQ community. I have so many wonderful LGBTQ friends. They bless my life. They enrich my life. They are some of the closest friends that I could ever imagine. So, I just want to give you a little bit of information of what you can do during this next week. I suggest that if you would like to write send an email to City Council, Cambridge City Council, that you do so at, you send one to Susan Wysman, and the email address is WYSMANS Wysmans at cambridge.ca. Another option is if you would like to speak in front of council, prepare a short, one-page speech and call Susan Wysman or email her at the email address I just gave. You can also call her at 519-740-4680, extension 4233, and tell her that you would like to speak to City Hall, and say that the motion that you will be speaking to is the motion in support of inclusive marriage. And I think something that would just be wonderful if you don't want to email or don't want to speak necessarily would be to attend next Monday, 7 p.m., September 10th, at 50 Dickson Street downtown Kitchener, or downtown Cambridge, sorry, in Galt, and declare your support for same-sex marriage. So I think I'll end off this video now. But thanking you for your time, and just urging you to support our gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender friends. People in this country, people in our region, people in the city of Cambridge deserve full, equal marriage rights, no matter what their sexual orientation is. I will end it off for now. My name is Andrew Alward. I am the LGBTQ representative for Kitchener Centre's New Democratic Party. If you would like to reach me, my email address is markandrewalward, and that is MarkAndrewAlward78@gmail.com. Thank you.